Master Coach and President of the Startup Business Factory, where I will assist you with moving from idea to execution to building a profitable, sustainable business and a big old bank account. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for catching the replay. And so we are on day 3 to unlock uncommon success in your life. I hope you guys have had an opportunity to catch day 1 and day 2. So we are on day 3 of 7 days to unlocking uncommon success in your life. So let me make sure I'm not having computer issues before I move forward. Let's see. All right, just trying to make sure there's no issues before we move forward to day 3 to unlock uncommon success in your life. If you haven't caught day 1 and day 2, please go and catch day 1 and day 2. Hey, Cartisha, thank you so much for tuning in. So day 3 is the law of recognition. Anything you fail to recognize will exit your life. When you don't recognize that you have good people in your life, or when you don't recognize that people have been good to you, those are the people who will tend to leave your life because you have not given it recognition. Think about you being loyal to people, coming into their life, and when they don't give you recognition, although you don't need it, you feel like that you don't serve that relationship value, and so you find yourself separating from the relationship. And this is the same thing with anything that is in your life right now. What you do not recognize will leave your life. If you don't recognize how your business is growing and how it is developing, if you don't recognize how you're taking one step closer to being who God has called you to be, when you don't take the time to acknowledge or to recognize the good and what is happening in your life, it has the potential to leave your life. Oftentimes, we're so bogged down and so weighed down with what's not going right. We're so bogged down and weighed down with who's doing us wrong that we don't take the time to really applaud and to recognize what is right in our life. So I would tell you again that anything you fail to recognize will exit your life. It would exit your life. So I want you to take an inventory of your life right now, and maybe you need to write it down. Maybe you need to do a mental inventory of your life and think about the good things that are happening in your life. Think about the good people. Think about what is going well in your life and start giving that recognition. Even the Bible said that you should think of things that are good and of good rapport, right? And so that means that he wants you to recognize what is good in your life. So again, anything that you fail to recognize, it will exit your life. Number 2, recognition of a mentor. Think about it like this. You have to recognize people who have been a mentor to you, whether they've been a paid or unpaid mentor in your life, whether they have said, hey, I'm going to mentor you or not. Recognition of a mentor will cause that person to be able to pour into you more. As a matter of fact, when you recognize who they are in your life, you are more likely to open up your heart to them. And so you have to recognize the good in people, and you have to recognize the people who have done you good. Recognition of a mentor causes your heart to open even more so towards that person. And there are some examples in the Bible how Elijah recognized Elijah's difference. He recognized it. All right. Recognition of a passionate protege. And I want you guys to hear me when I say this. Recognition of a passionate protege. A protege is very different from a parasite. So there will be 2 types of people that come into your life. One would be a protege and one would be a parasite. A parasite wants what's in your hand. A parasite wants everything that you have. A parasite is willing to do whatever it takes in order for them to be you. A parasite come to take. A parasite will suck the living life out of you. A parasite will do wrong towards you and hide their hand. That's what a parasite is. And oftentimes we don't see parasites because parasites are very subtle in what they do. But the spirit of discernment will show you people in your life who have ill will. Okay? the spirit of discernment and the Holy Spirit will show you parasites in your life versus a protege. So a parasite want what's in your hand, but a protege want what's in your heart. Ooh, they want you. They want to hear your voice. They want to connect with you genuinely. They don't want what you have. They can care less about what you have because they understand that you had to pay a cost to get what you have, right? So that's the difference between a parasite and a protege. And I want you to take an inventory of your life of relationships. And I want you to begin to mark out people who are parasites and ask God, how are you to handle the parasites that's in your life? And not only handle the parasites, but also to handle the proteges that are in your life, okay? Because proteges, they want what's in your heart, not what's only in your hand. So again, we are on day 3 to unlocking uncommon success in your life. Many times people say that they want success, but there are some things that you need to recognize in your life in order to unlock it. And once you recognize these 7 laws, then you'll begin to put into action what we are discussing, and you'll begin to see favor unlock in your life like never before. Okay. Now listen, some things you are not seeing is costing you everything. This goes back to the law of recognition. Something that you are not recognizing is it's costing you everything. It's costing you friendships. It's costing you your marriage. It's costing you your ministry. It's costing you to lose money. It's costing your business. Something that you are not recognizing is costing you everything. There's something that you have not recognized. Because remember, I told you all that whatever you don't recognize, it leaves your life. So if there are things that are constantly leaving your life, maybe you are not recognizing it enough, and therefore it is costing you more than you are willing to pay, more than what you're willing to give up. So then you have to step back and say, God, show me the things in my life that I have overlooked. Show me the things in my life that I'm not recognizing that is supposed to be here, but it is leaving my life. Okay. What is it? What is it in your life that you're not seeing that is costing you everything? It could be valuable relationships. It can be the connection with other people. It could be your disobedience. It's something in your life that is causing you not to something that you're not seeing, which is costing you everything. Listen, those who never ask questions, research, or read are often ignorant of the things they are not recognizing. So I will say that again. If you are not asking questions, if you're not researching, if you're not reading, then you do not have the full ability to recognize the things that are in your life. Because when you ask questions, when you research, when you read, you are positioning yourself to learn. As a matter of fact, you are humbling yourself. That is called humility. Humility means to humble yourself. To humble yourself. But if you're not asking questions, researching, or reading, then you are oftentimes ignorant to the fact that that you're missing what you should be recognizing in your life. The proof of humility is the willingness to ask questions. The proof that you are humble is because you're able to ask questions. People who don't ask questions, they are still dealing with an area of pride in their life, and it's costing them a lot. You have to be willing to ask questions and humble yourself enough to know the answers. Okay, you have to ask questions. You only ask questions from people that you really respect, people that you want to get to know. You want to hear their opinion. You want to hear their viewpoint, right? So you got to begin to ask questions. You got to begin to research. You got to begin to read. You got to begin to network and be surrounded by people, places, and things that will be the proof of your humility. Okay, so this is day 4. What's up, Cheryl, Cartisha, Nicole? What's up, Sonia? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Nicole said a protege gonna be there from the beginning to the end, no matter what, if it's good times or bad times. You're absolutely right. A protege is not not there based upon circumstantial situations. Like you're there because of what is in your heart. That means that you recognize something. You recognize it's the law of recognition. And when you can recognize the law of recognition, then you can unlock the uncommon success that's in your life. Hey, Teresa. That's right. Ask questions. Yes, you have to ask questions. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to day 3 to unlocking uncommon success in your life. And day 3 is all about the law of recognition. Take the time to recognize the good things that are happening in your life. Begin to ask questions, research, read, recognize the mentors, recognize parasites that are in your life, recognize proteges that are in your life, because whatever you don't recognize and whatever you don't acknowledge, it will leave your life. Okay. So if you're not utilizing your gifts, you're not utilizing your talents, it won't per se leave your life, but it will lay dormant because you have not tapped into those things. Some of us have inactive gifts that we have not tapped into. We have inactive talents. We have inactive wealth that we have not tapped into. So it's laying dormant, and dormant means that it's laying inactive in our life. Therefore, it cannot produce the results that God truly want it to, because we have not recognized those things. And so even if you feel like you know your purpose, even if you feel like you know what you've been called to do, ask God to show you. God, if there's any areas in my life that has gone unrecognized, or I have not given it recognition, that needs to be active at this time in my life, God, please show me hidden gifts and talents about myself. Show me areas in my life where I have not tapped into the power to obtain wealth. Show me the areas in my life where I have not tapped into my uncommon success, where I have not tapped into the law of difference, where I have not tapped into the law of recognition. So you have to begin to ask questions and ask God to show you those things so that you can tap into the uncommon success that is on your life. It is there. It is there. You just haven't been recognizing it. You haven't been seeing it. You've been acting blindly. There's something that God has placed inside all of us that will cause us to tap into that next level, but we have not been recognizing it. And even if you feel like you don't know what it is today, Shan, if you feel like you don't know what it is today, Nicole, ask God to show you those things so that you can tap into it. Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Don't forget that I am going to be introducing the Entrepreneurship Circle to you. It's for those who are ready to tap into both spiritual and natural gifts that God has placed inside of you. It will be for $39 a month. So I hope you guys will jump on board to my paid mentorship program. Until we meet again, think bigger, reach higher, generate continuous profits. And I can't wait to see you guys at the top. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for trusting my voice. Have an amazing day. Toodles.